And Ramos shoots one out to right field. That's deep. Back goes Reyes near the wall. It's out of here. Wilson Ramos puts the Mets in front with a 2-run opposite field home run. Very clutch.
3-1 to LeMahieu. And the pitch is swung on and driven to deep right center. Bradley back on the track at the wall. She's gone. DJ LeMahieu begins the game with a home run. Be a 2-1 to DJ. Swung on and driven to right. Betts going back, looking up, and she is gone. David John makes long gone again.
Spirits were high for the Yankees on Saturday afternoon, but dampened slightly by the news of yet another injury. Hello and welcome into Geico Sports Night. I'm Maria Marino alongside Chris Williamson.
Meanwhile, Maria, the Mets fan base was fired up for Marcus Stroman's pitching debut with the Mets against the Pirates as he tried to get the Amazons back on track after a tough loss on Friday by Steven Matz. Now, the Mets would get a run in the first, but Stroman thrown right into the fire in those new threats. Bottom first, 2 on base, Starling Marte shoots one into center, brings home Adam Frazier, and Stroman still in a jam. Bases loaded. Stroman just misses, walks Jose Osuna. Pirates lead 2-1. The bullpen stirring already as Stroman labors. Kevin Newman up next, a slow roller. The barehanded play by Stroman. Sensational play right there. Another look as the former Gold Glover gets the out he would get out of the inning. To the 5th, Stroman down and in to Josh Bell for ball 4, and that was it for his Mets debut. 4 1/3 inning, 7 hits, 3 runs. The Mets got very little done against Chris Archer, but pinch hitter Jeff McNeil igniting the offense off the bullpen. Mets within a run. It's out in the water. Then to the 8th, Wilson Ramos batting with a man on second, facing Kyle Crick, and Ramos is posing. Get out of here. Deep to right center and out. 11th homer of the year, a big one for the Buffalo. The Mets lead 4-3. Then in the 9th, Ramos again up with the bases loaded and another good swing. This one off Chris Stratton to right, Pablo Reyes. No catch, off the wall. All 3 runs scored to put the Mets up 4. Edwin Diaz allowed a pair, but the Mets win at 7-5 thanks to Ramos's big nights. Here's Ramos on that big performance.
That situation, I was trying to get a pitch to hit the ball to the other way. You know, he hit me that slider. I connect the ball really well. So, you know, but I wasn't looking for a homer in that situation. I was looking just for a good pitch and try to move the runner.
As it started to settle in, all my pitches started to do what I wanted to do more. So I knew it was just a little bit of a layoff. I know that once I get back to my bullpen and kind of focusing on a few things, I'll be much crisper next time out.
Stroman's debut for the Mets probably won't be one he wants to remember, even though it wasn't a horrendous start. 4 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, and just 3 strikeouts. But he did have that sensational barehanded catch to prevent another run.
The Yankees' season remarkably has been defined by injuries as much as winning. 25 of their players have had IL stints. 15 are currently on the shelf, and leading the majors in that department is nothing new. Just when they get a lift with the return of DJ LeMahieu, their depth is tested again. Yankees-Red Sox game 1 of a split doubleheader. Bottom 1, no score. DJ LeMahieu at the plate, and he gives the Yanks the early lead with the solo home run to right center off Chris Sale. LeMahieu's 16th long ball of the season. It's 1-0 Yanks. Top 3, Sandy Leon hits a foul pop-up along the third base line, and check out Gio Urshela into the net and hangs out for an amazing catch. Take another look as Urshela crashes into the net, making that snow cone grab, and the clutch third baseman continues to impress. Bottom of the 4th, game tied at 1. An unlikely hero comes through as Breivik Valera delivers with the bases loaded. RBI single to right. Edwin Encarnacion scores. Yanks up 2-1. Still bottom 4, now 4-1 New York, and it's LeMahieu again. Just over the right field wall. The 3-run shot is his 2nd of the game, 17th of the season. Chris Sale continues to struggle. 8 earned runs in just 3 2/3 innings. Domingo Germán, however, getting the start and getting the job done. Strikes out Andrew Benintendi to end the top of the 6th. He is fired up. Germán, 7 innings, 7 strikeouts, only 2 earned runs. Not all good for the Yanks, though. Bottom 8, Encarnacion takes the ball off his right wrist. He is in pain. It's a fracture, and he's headed to the 10-day IL. Yanks win game 1, 9-2. Here's Sweeney Murdy with more.
Remember when the Yankees had too many first basemen? All of a sudden, they don't have enough. Luke Voigt's already on the IL with a sports hernia. Now Edwin Encarnacion with a right wrist fracture after being hit by a pitch in Game 1. The Yankees are left scrambling. DJ LeMahieu becomes the starting first baseman. Remember, he was already shelved for a couple of games earlier with a groin problem. He's obviously come back from that strong. Mike Ford is up from AAA, but remember, the Yankees cannot make a trade now. No August trades, as you could have made in years past. The Yankees dealt with this last year. Remember, Aaron Judge fractured his wrist after being hit by a pitch in late July. He missed 7 weeks. Right now, there are only 8 weeks left in the regular season. How much time will Encarnacion miss? Well, they're not saying for now. He's going to be reevaluated sometime in the next 7 to 10 days before they determine the next phase. But not good news for a Yankee offense that's taken a lot of hits already this year to the IL and continues to do so as we stretch into August.
So the Yanks lose Encarnacion, hoping not to lose Game 2 with a doubleheader. Bottom 3, Red Sox up 2-0. Gleyber Torres with the drive to left field. Ball keeps carrying, and over the wall it goes. His 22nd of the year. Boston still up 2-1. Later in the inning, 2 on for Cameron Maybin, and he laces it just fair down the left field line. Both runs score. Yanks take the lead. It's 3-2, but the Sox answer. Top of the 4th, Mookie Betts takes the Chance Adams pitch to left field. 2-run score. Boston reclaims the lead. 4-3. Same score, bottom 5. Torres at the plate. Here's John Sterling with the call.
The 1-2. Swung on. There goes to left. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Another home run on Gleyber Day. Like a good Gleyber, Torres is there.
Gleyber's second long ball of the game ties it up at 4 apiece. Bottom 7, bases loaded for Mike Tauchman, and he delivers with a single through the hole. Aaron Hicks and Torres would score. Yankees back on top, 6-4. Zach Britton in a world of trouble in the 8th, bases loaded, but he strikes out Rafael Devers, swinging at a ball in the dirt. Yankees hold on for a 6-4 win. Here's Aaron Boone on the star of the game, Gleyber Torres.
He's a good player. I mean, you don't get hits every game, even when you are a great player. So I don't know if there's necessarily adjustments there other than, a guy coming up in some big spots and got some pitches he could do some damage with and did. And, big night for him, which was nice.
Some good company for Gleyber Torres. He and Joe DiMaggio are the only Yankees in history to have 5 multi-home run games in a season before age 23. DiMaggio did it back in 1937.
All right, coming up, Marcus Stroman's Mets debut didn't go the way the Long Island native envisioned, but is it a cause for concern, my friends? Plus, something's fishy is going on in the Bronx because another Yankee went down with an injury. This time, it was newcomer Edwin Encarnacion. That makes it 15 Yanks on the IL now. We'll discuss the impact it has on the Bombers when we return.
Geico Sports Night is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Barb, you left me hanging on the high harmony there.
If you ride, you get it. Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
The hamsters run hopelessly in their cage, content on their endless quest to nowhere. But perhaps this year, a more exhilarating endeavor awaits. Defy the laws of human nature at the Summer of Audi sales event. Get exceptional offers now.
Change has many faces, names you'll never know. The bright-eyed, the brave, the visionaries. Where challenges exist, you'll find them. At Citi, we empower people who are out to change the world. Because tomorrow belongs to those who welcome it with open arms. Citi, welcome what's next.
3 banquets a day, our favorite diet. Just picture a great big steak, fried, roasted, or stewed. Oh, food, wonderful food, marvelous food, glorious food.
Why switch to Fios now? You get the best internet on the 100% fiber optic network. And now get a free Samsung Chromebook 3 on us.
We are a very connected family. When the Wi-Fi slows down, it creates chaos. That's pretty much how the chaos looks. If I have faster internet, it will make things much, much easier.
When you sign up for Fios Gigabit Connection, you get our fastest speeds available, enough for all your devices. Yes! That's internet you won't outgrow.
I just want things to work.
Only on Fios.
Tomorrow, Robinson Cano and the Mets look to steal a win in the Steel City as they aim to break out the bats and crush Josh Bell and the Pirates. Coverage begins with Citi pregame tomorrow at 1, only on SNY.
The Mets' big trade deadline acquisition. Righty Marcus Stroman made his debut for the team Saturday at Pittsburgh. He got knocked around, but not knocked out. Still probably wasn't as sharp as he hoped to be. For more on the Mets and Yankees, I'll send it over to Chris.
Thanks, Maria. Time now for Baseball Night in New York with John Jastrzemski and Anthony McCarron. So, as Maria mentioned, not a great performance by Stroman in his Mets debut, but not horrendous. Were you surprised? How surprised were you by his performance?
Well, he hadn't pitched since July 24th, Chris, so there's going to be some rust there. I mean, these pitchers are creatures of habit, routine. They dive in and they do the same thing every day, getting ready for their start every 5th day. So there's no way that this guy would not be sort of knocked off kilter a little bit. The trade, pitching for a New York team also, he's a Long Island kid, you might have heard. And, so he's probably pretty jacked up for this start. He threw 35 pitches in the first inning, so that gets the start off to a bad start. And he only got 4 ground ball outs. But I'm sure that we're going to see the same old Marcus Stroman going forward now that he's gotten that one out of the way and he can kind of just push it out of his mind and go and get going.
Fellas, I'm not the least bit surprised because when you look at a starting pitcher, these guys are such creatures of habit. The idea of going out every 5th day, then you throw in the element of being traded. You're going to a new league. You're moving your stuff. You're doing this. You're doing that. And we expect Marcus Stroman to just roll out of bed and be able to go 7 shutout innings. I think that's asking a lot. He's going to be fine. I think he's going to be A-OK in the National League. But I kind of figured this first start, even against a subpar Pirate team, we weren't going to see his very best.
Yeah, now, speaking of pitching, Mickey Callaway was asked after the game about having or not having a set closer position between Edwin Diaz and Seth Lugo. What are the chances we have a closer controversy on our hands, JJ? When it comes to this?
Well, let's be honest, Chris. We should have one right now. With the way Edwin Diaz is pitching for the New York Mets, not exactly inspiring confidence. And if you're watching that game on Saturday night, it's as clear as day. If that remains a one-run game, you want Seth Lugo closing that game out. He has just been far more effective. He's going to have your trust a heck of a lot more. But when it comes to Mickey Callaway and the comments that he makes after the game, it's one of those instances where, I got to be honest, I got to see Sunday. The Mets have a 1-run lead. 9th inning. Seth Lugo closing the game. I'm not putting my money on yes. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, Mickey does like to cloud things a little bit. But this is very interesting to me that he left the door open here because maybe the Mets should start thinking about Lugo as the closer. Look, Diaz has not pitched well, and there have been nights that he's looked shook. On the mound, and the Mets are suddenly playing for something, right? I mean, we've counted them out. I know I have many times. I'm still skeptical of their chances, frankly. But listen, they've got to get in this, and if they're going to do it, they need to clamp down the 9th inning. And if Seth Lugo gives them the best chance, they need to make the change.
Well, those are the sort of games. If you lose them in heartbreaking fashion in August and September, like when the Washington Nationals come to town next week, you're playing the Philadelphia Phillies. You go back to that game Edwin Diaz had in late June against the Philadelphia Phillies. Those are like these sort of earth-shattering type losses that are bad enough when they're in May or June. But if you're buying the idea that the Mets are back in the pennant race, they can't be blowing games in the 9th inning. No way around it.
No, they have to find something to work. And I think it would be smart it would be smart for them to try Lugo in that closer role just to see if it gives them a boost. Because when Edwin Diaz goes out on the mound, I do not feel confident like he's going to close the deal.
It's like me on a craps table on a bed. Never a good sign, Chris. Never a good sign.
You're hilarious, JJ. Hilarious. All right, moving to the Yankees now. They got the win. They got both wins in their doubleheaders, but Edwin Encarnacion fractured his wrist, now on the 10-day IOL. In Game 2, injury-prone Aaron Hicks appeared to hurt his elbow on a throw from the outfield. He will have an MRI tomorrow. So how big of a blow? I mean, these blows just keep coming and coming, JJ. How big of a blow are these two right now?
Well, Chris, it's next man up for the New York Yankees. It's been next man up over and over again. You think about the injuries they had earlier in the year, and I guess with this Encarnacion injury, he's telling you 3 to 5 weeks. But at the end of the day, if it's 6 weeks like Aaron Judge last year, you get him for 1 week in the regular season, and then he can be all systems go come playoff time. I think Encarnacion will still be able to impact this Yankee team, but it's amazing for a team that thought they were very, very deep at first base and thought there was no need for Edwin Encarnacion. Now, he and Luke Voit basically gone in the span of 4 or 5 days. The Hicks injury, though, is far more concerning. Anytime you hear elbow, that's going to put a knot in your stomach. Aaron Hicks didn't sound overly optimistic about the injury after the game, and you think about the Yankees and the way they shuffle their outfield. Brett Gardner becomes that much more important. Mike Tauchman, who's been a revelation, he has the go-ahead hit in Game 2. He's that much more important. And maybe, just maybe, fellas, Clint Frazier will actually get the call back to the big leagues.
Maybe.
Just maybe.
Let's talk about believing when you see, JJ. They've had opportunities to bring this guy up before, but maybe now they've finally gotten this far down the roster where they've got to bring Clint Frazier back and let him DH for Clint or for Encarnacion. Take that spot, and that'd be fine because Clint can rake. It is amazing that a lot of the talk about the offseason with the Yankees when they signed DJ LeMahieu. Well, where's he going to play? How's he going to get at bats? What are they doing? Why did they sign this guy? And that's like, that's like 50 injuries ago now, and we're looking at more now. You mentioned Tauchman; he has been a revelation. I mean, it's crazy to say, but where would the Yankees be without Mike Tauchman?
Can you imagine?
Cameron Maybin,
we watched Mike Tauchman earlier in the year. I thought he was so overmatched against Chris Sale. There was a game early in the year. I was like, this guy has no chance against a star like Chris Sale. Now you see Tauchman up lefty, righty, doesn't matter. This guy's raking.
He's in a smooth position right now. Who do you think they could afford more to lose?
Encarnacion.
Yeah.
To me, it's Encarnacion because of what Aaron Hicks provides on both ends. Not only being able to hit, get on base, hit for power, do all that sort of stuff, his defense is top-notch in center field. I think come playoff time, you might miss that veteran-laden bat of Encarnacion, but I think for the time being, it's Aaron Hicks.
Yeah, I think it's Aaron Hicks, too, absolutely. I don't think it's close either.
And going to the offense, let's talk about some positive. Gleyber Torres, DJ LeMahieu, these guys both had 2 home run games. 2 homers in those games. What more can we say about them?
They're studs. I mean, that's what we can say,
Chris. About trading Gleyber.
Well, anybody who would be dumb enough to think the Yankees are going to trade Gleyber Torres, shame on them. I don't care who it's for. This guy is going to be in the conversation amongst the young studs in all of baseball, and he could have had 3 home runs in the nightcap. And for LeMahieu, it's amazing how he's turned into like the Chris Sale killer, Anthony. I love it. If you're a Yankee fan, what's not to love?
To me, the most revealing nugget about the trade deadline this year is that the teams were insisting that the Yankees include Gleyber Torres in a deal for their starting pitcher, which shows you how insane the trade deadline was and some of the asks from some of the teams that were sellers were, because Gleyber Torres is going nowhere. Quiet superstar. This guy, I mean, every time we hear him compared to another Yankee, he's done something that Mickey Mantle did when he was 22. Joe DiMaggio did when he was 20. This guy is an incredible player. He's a Yankee for life.
No, it's so beautiful to watch what he's doing. He doesn't say much, but he does a lot with his bat, people.
Big stick, baby. Big
JJ,
stick.
Anthony, always a pleasure working with you. Now let's send it back out to Maria.
Coming up on Geico Sports Night, he may be suspended the first few games of the season, but Golden Tate is doing all he can while at practice. We'll hear from Giants coach Pat Shurmur on his receiver. Plus, a change of heart for one accomplished NFL veteran has turned into a huge opportunity for the Jets. We'll talk about the team's new signing by their new GM after this.
It's the Honda Summer Spectacular event. That means more euphoric feelings that come from getting a great deal on a Honda CR-V or HR-V. Or from getting a Pilot or Passport. all part of 2019's Best SUV brand. Hurry in today and experience the joy for yourself.
Get a great deal on the Honda CR-V, part of 2019's Best SUV brand, at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
Get saving on appliances at PC Richard & Son. Let our experts help you find the right appliances that are perfect for you and your budget. All the quality brands you love at the guaranteed lowest prices. And when you want it, need it, just gotta have it, we'll get it there the next day. It's time for new appliances. Find yours at PC Richard & Son, the official appliance, electronics, and mattress retailer of the New York Mets.
The 2019 Cadillacs are made for summer and made to move. Get 0% APR for 72 months plus $1,000 on a 2019 Cadillac XT4 when you finance through GM Financial.
When I was first told that I needed a mastectomy, it was unsettling to me.
Valerie came to see me as a second opinion. She said, I've been diagnosed with cancer and I need a mastectomy. And I said, what if we had other options? What if I told you that we could possibly spare you a mastectomy? And that's ultimately what we did.
This summer, come to Lake Ontario for lots of family fun. With free fishing through Labor Day and half-off camping at state campgrounds. Plan your Lake Ontario adventure at iloveny.com.
Golden Tate's likely got a 4-game suspension coming his way, unless he somehow wins his appeal for using a banned substance. But he isn't letting that stop him from shining on the field in his first training camp with the Giants.
He showed us what his reputation was. He has a way of getting open in a short area. He's got good run. Even though we're not tackling to the ground, you can see he's got good run after catch. He's very smart, so we can move him around. All the things that are necessary to play in our offense.
After 12 seasons with the Panthers, Ryan Khalil thought he was done with the NFL, retiring at age 34. But by his own admission, he had a hard time moving on. So when the Jets reached out, he decided to make a comeback. Janae Coakley has more from Florham Park.
Joe Douglas said he couldn't be more excited about his first big acquisition as the Jets GM, center Ryan Khalil.
Personally and professionally, I'm just excited that Ryan chose to come here because, you know, in our first meeting with our scouts and players, we say, hey, you guys could have chosen to be anywhere you wanted to be, and you chose to be here right here and right now.
I've been a fan of Sam since watching him at SC, and you know, Sam and I know each other a little bit. We know we've talked in passing in California here. So I'm here to compete. I'm here to play hard. I got some good football left in me, and hope I don't let you guys down.
Smart, tough, highly decorated player. You know, 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro. As good as he is on the field, he's an even better teammate, father, husband. I mean, guys, this was a no-brainer as far as a person and a leader.
Let's bring in Rich Cimini, ESPN Jets reporter. And Rich, what did you think of the deal?
I really liked it because I thought it was a low-risk deal on a couple of levels. I mean, the money is $8.4 million, but Janae, the Jets have a ton of salary cap room at $23 million, so it's not going to inhibit their ability to get other players. I think what Joe Douglas said about passing the torch from Josh McCown to Ryan Khalil is really on the money, because last year Sam had Josh to lean on. This year he's going to have Ryan Khalil, not the same position, of course, but the same amount of experience.
And also that experience can, like you said, in the cafeteria, these younger guys can look up to this guy and see it. You heard Quinn Williams Williams, when he walked by the press conference, yelled, GOAT. You know,
GOAT.
These guys
Yeah.
really pay attention to these veterans.
Well, they know he's a 5-time Pro Bowler and a 2-time All-Pro, so his reputation precedes him, and he's going to help the offensive line in this respect. Adam Gase puts a lot on his center from a cerebral standpoint. They have to do a lot of thinking pre-snap. This is going to help out Darnold. It'll take more off Sam's plate. He won't have to worry about changing protections, worrying about blitzes from here and there. So I think all in all, it's a win-win.
Khalil, a very smart man, contacted Nick Mangold.
Yes. What better center in Jet history to talk to than Nick Mangold?
Well, Kevin Mawai, the Hall of Famer.
He's a little busy this weekend with the Hall of Fame, but Mangold is a good substitute.
Fantastic. For Rich Samini, I'm Janae Coakley.
Well, you just took care of my tease, Janae. Great. All right, so up next, on a day when the Jets officially signed a Pro Bowler at center, former Jets great center Kevin Mawai got inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, as you heard them saying, thanks to his storied career with Gang Green in the late 90s and on.
Geico Sports Night is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Whose dog is this?
It's my special friend Antonio. His luxurious fur calms my nerves when I'm worried about moving into our new apartment.
Why don't we just ask Geico for help with renter's insurance?
I didn't know Geico helps with renter's insurance.
Yeah, and we could save a bunch too.
Antonio, fetch a computer. Antonio. I'll get it.
Get to know Geico and see how much you could save on renter's insurance.
Hi, welcome to Toyota's
National Clearance Event.
Yes, now's the time to get a great deal on The the last of the 2019s. Huh, I'm impressed. But the deals will only last until September 3rd. What am I thinking now?
Right now, lease a new 2019 RAV4 with all-wheel drive for just $209 a month. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance.
Save on the last of the 2019s.
Coming today!
Okay, what's up?
Toyota, let's go places.
Old Dominion puts together a winning performance with precision, a #1 ranking in claims prevention, and by going the distance to become #1 in customer satisfaction. Old Dominion, official freight carrier of Major League Baseball.
The winner of the 2019 Motor Trend Car of the Year and North American Car of the Year can now be on display in your driveway. During the Genesis Summer Sales Event, lease a Genesis G70 with 0 due at signing and 0 first month's payment. Hurry into your local Genesis retailer for this exceptional offer.
These are the moments that bring us to our feet. The anticipation, the tradition, the foul ball, the 15 seconds of fame, the big catch, the game-winning home run. But the most important moment happens when we all stand together.
Join us as we stand up to show our support for loved ones affected by cancer.
Visit standuptocancer.org/MLB.
Stand up with us.
Stand up with us.
Stand up with us.
Stand up with us.
Some history went down as the Astros hosted the Mariners. Aaron Sanchez making his Houston debut, and what a debut it was. The major league leader in losses tosses 6 no-hit innings and turns it over to the bullpen after 92 pitches. Top of the 9th, the Stros are 1 out away. Chris Davinsky facing Daniel Vogelbach. The harmless fly to right, and there it is. 12th no-hitter in Astros history and the second combined no-hitter, with the last coming at Yankee Stadium in 2003. Astros win it 9-zip.
All right, former standout Jet center Kevin Mawai earned an honor Saturday that many dream of but few achieve. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame for what he did in the league, including 8 years with the Jets. He made 8 Pro Bowls and earned all-decade honors for the 2000s by the NFL. Before we go, Mets reliever Seth Lugo earned NL Reliever of the Month for July. He pitched in 12 games and didn't allow a single run. Maria, funny thing about this, Lugo didn't even know the award existed.
Meanwhile, the Yankees' Tommy Kahnle was named Reliever of the Month for the AL, pitching to a .77 ERA in July. And that's it for Geico Sports Night. He's Chris Williamson. I'm Maria Marino. Thanks for watching.
It's always a blast. It's always a blast.